Good afternoon. Welcome back to another video. I've had some interesting conversations with people along my way today. There's a lot of people finding it tough to get going. So, Ed agrees with me. My one, he's a friend, I guess you could say. You got to turn off that television. And we got to talking about how we became compartmentalized after 2020. We became compartmentalized, like reprimanded. Go to your room. Don't come out. For something, at first, for something we didn't do, that virus. But then it turned into like us against them. You have to wear masks against people that said no. There's information out there, they don't help. Then it was social distancing. People were fighting in stores and businesses and places over somebody not being socially distant, and God forbid if they weren't wearing a mask and they were supposed to, right? And then, you know, we were told if you get that jab, you will never get COVID. And the reason COVID is spreading is because people aren't getting the jab. When this started happening around March, April of 2020, I found two channels that were producing good information. One is Dr. John Campbell, he's from United Kingdom, and the other one is Peak Prosperity. And they've taken Peak Prosperity, from what I remember, wasn't much into politics, but they got into it now. But Dr. John Campbell and Peak Prosperity, like, I already knew about the vitamin D thing, and then Dr. John Campbell confirmed it for me. So I made it 2020 without the COVID, 2021, the end of December in 2021. I got a new primary care nurse at the VA, and she said, how much vitamin D do you take a day? And I told her, about 40,000 IUs. Oh no, you need to stop that, that's too much. Right now, don't take any for a week. Then take 1,000. I stopped. And a week later, I had freaking COVID. Oh, anyway, there was so much going on with that COVID, besides the fact we were compartmentalized. I mentioned it this morning in a video, like, you couldn't fly unless you had a card, a vaccine card that said you were vaccinated, which now we know didn't matter. And I have to admit, at that point, and they were talking like, this is going to be a yearly thing, I'm thinking, Well, I ain't getting a job. I guess I'll never fly again. I'll never get out of the country. I got resigned to so many things because it looked permanent. You know, much like the loss of our liberties after 9/11. You know, things were looking permanent from COVID and Dr. Fauci, and all those other people practicing uh, Nazi experiments in laboratories and saying it's for the common good, which is what the Nazis said. Anyway, so I was talking to Ed. I was at the bridge at the end of the village here, and I had Ace there in the water. And we were talking about this, and I said, yeah, boy, you know, you could make any excuse to not go out of your house. Oh, it's too hot today. Or, oh, it's supposed to rain today. Or, oh, I'm a little tired. I'll go to the store tomorrow. You know? Oh, I'm looking at a beautiful red cardinal. Oh, and I've read the studies. They were already coming out in 2022 about the effect of shutting society down on children. It was just a massive psychological experiment, for real. So, everybody was like in that mode during that period. Us against them type of thing. And like the poison was in the air, like it was in the atmosphere. The good vibes were gone. For years, good vibrations were gone. All that shit. All those lies. All those people that lost jobs because they didn't take the jab. All of those people that were right about masks don't do anything. All those people that were right about if you take the COVID vaccine, you're still going to get COVID. Look at Biden. He's had like what? 3 vaccines and 5 boosters. This is what? His 3rd, 4th, 5th time getting it? And if it's just like the flu, which they eventually said, why all of this nonsense? And, you know, somebody might say, well, look at all these people that died, millions of people. All I could tell you is this. Right from the beginning, there were folks. I don't know if I want to say experts. I don't remember. Could have been experts. Could have been people familiar with viruses, flus, things like that, who studied history, you know, the plague, the Black Plague, and all of that stuff that swept Europe in medieval times. You know, they were saying, well, you don't have to wait for a vaccine. This will work, and this will work. And pharmaceutical companies said, no way, shoot that down. We got to make a vaccine. This is all out there now. It's not something I'm lying about. But, you know, it was a tragic time for the psyche. I, for the most part, I didn't want to take sides, but I was on the side of this is a lot of bullshit more than I was on the side of I'm reporting you to the police for going in that store without a mask. And things just happened, you know, things just happened. And so, right before that, though, In 2019, I hurt my back really bad picking up a neighbor who fell out of a wheelchair. I shouldn't have done it. So I was set back from that, slipped a disc, and back conditions just came up worse. I couldn't exercise because the VA was ignoring my calls of help. It was a bad time. And then COVID came, and then in 2022, I built this grove over there at first. In 2021, I started to have vision problems. And when it got to a point where it was like a gray film in front of my eyes, I finally went to the VA, and my primary care doctor said, yeah, you're getting cataracts. Okay, we have to send you to an ophthalmologist. A month later, okay, ophthalmologist says you're getting cataracts. We have to send you to the surgeon. A month later, I go to the surgeon, and by now, I could hardly freaking see, right? I had to get rides everywhere and have people hold my hand crossing the street when they were available. Saw the surgeon, okay, yeah, come back in a month, we'll see about scheduling you for surgery. I come back in a month and the surgery goes, oh, we're going to have interns do your cataracts. I'm like, I don't think so. So it started in March of 2021 until I got my 2 surgeries come November of 2021, and then it was December, so I got my eyes fixed right after almost 8 months of having gray. It looked like gray, like fog. I couldn't see. So I got over that, and that's when that nurse said, stop taking vitamin D, then I got the COVID. So that went from December 2021 to January of 2022. In June, May of 2022, maybe April, I said, I got to get moving again. So I decided to build this sacred grove. And as I said, I started up there. You would believe this was a mess. This piled wood from garbage from years. People just dumped back here. And, you know, I did it. So one day I'm down here trimming limbs and bushes. And I thought I felt something smack me in the head, right? It was an unusual sting to me. Well, a couple days later, I got real sick. Come to find out, I got bit by a tick. July of 2022, I'm diagnosed with Lyme disease, right? Oh my gosh. So for the last couple of years, I've been dealing with that and Lyme disease flashbacks. Last year, 2023, I said in March or April, I'm going to get in shape for my 65th birthday. Last year, 2023. Wow. Come June and July, I was in good shape. Lost a lot of weight. Was doing 100 decline push-ups a day. I don't know, 50 to 100, not sit-ups, crunches. And then when I got to my birthday, I said, I accomplished it. And I stopped doing stuff. I just was like, yeah. So now I'm trying to get back in it again, you know. It ain't easy. I'm a couple weeks away from 66 years. But I'm hopeful because, as I mentioned in this morning's video, it's like the universe. Things are changing. We're expanding. I mentioned this morning about getting off all of those pharmaceutical meds they put on me because I was a combat vet, and this is what combat vets take. I've been off of that, wow, long time, 10 years. And then I started to focus on, the physical stuff and medications I was taking for that. Nothing heavy duty, never. But for 10 years, the lowest dose of Percocet, just to get me going through the stiffness and pain. And I took them as prescribed. But within the last month, I started a new type of medication. We'll leave it at that. I put a tincture under my tongue in the morning for pain, and it works. I take a gummy bear at night, too, actually, to help me fall asleep, because they help me fall asleep. They work. And, a little something in between here and there for a puff to not be anxious over the decades of emotional and physical pain, okay? And it works. I remember telling somebody 2 decades ago about opioids. Because at that time it was depending on what was going on with my injuries, and these injuries they said I have, and these disabilities they said I had, but I was on and off them. And I said to a friend of mine, I said, you know what, it's almost as if when you go off them, there's residue from them in your system, and it starts saying, oh, the pain's getting worse, you need to go back on pain meds. And I know what you're going to say, it's withdrawals, but for me it was like, and we were talking about it like fake pain. They create fake pain. Almost like, what is it called when you get a leg lobbed off from the knee down? What do they call that, a shadow leg or something? There's still pain or something there, yeah. But I never went for anything stronger. I just wanted to be able to move, because I'm a 3-time heart attack survivor. I want to keep moving. I'll take that. The lowest dose once a day, okay. Once, twice, I forget what it was. I'll take that as prescribed, which I did. And, but this year it stopped working. And I'm like, holy HG double hockey stick. Hell, holy hell. Now what do I do? Now what do I do? The pain medication isn't working, and it's a low dose. Oh, so this was. But I'm talking about this stuff to my acupuncturist. Shout out to Pathways to Healing, Reading, Pennsylvania, Pathways to Healing. And I'm talking to this, about this to my acupuncturist, Tracy. And in the meantime, then they started messing with me. I would order a refill of that pain medication, and 2 weeks later I wouldn't get it. Oh, we forgot it, or somebody overlooked it. And, I'm telling my acupuncturist, this is before I got on this new legal medication, this is a bunch of crap that I have to go through this. Now I'm just like, not only saying pain is worse, now I'm getting older, pain is worse, the pills aren't working. Now I'm getting grief from the VA when I order a prescription. And I'm not the person to start throwing a fit. I'm a goddamn veteran, I don't deserve to be treated like that. I know guys like that. I'm not that way. I was talking to my acupuncturist. I said, you know what? Something's got to change. I'm not going through this all the time. Something's got to change. And she's the one that suggested to me, Pennsylvania now has legal stuff that'll help you. So, did you notice if we go to the backyard in a conversation, I go out the front door and we go around town first till we get to the backyard. Or other people say, oh, if you ask John Johan what time it is, he'll tell you how to build a clock. Oh, so anyway, to end getting off opioids, and I'm on a little bit till I feel I'm weaned off like 3-4 weeks, like it says on WebMD. My whole body's going through a change. Obviously, obviously, not just because they do stuff up here, shut stuff off. And I didn't have those receptors I've been talking about the last couple of days. Remember we were talking about receptors? If you have that wired in thing, you take one drink of alcohol, boom, more. Or drugs, or food, or pornography, or video games, you know, that thing. So, I didn't have an issue with these low-dose Percocets. It didn't set me off and give me cravings. I didn't have that receptor, right? So I stopped them, except for the weaning down dose, around the 20th when I stopped vaping, the 20th of last month. And my whole body's going through a change. Because that just not only affected my mind, affected how my mind perceived or ignored pain, it affected my digestive system as well. Because I had to take fiber and stool softeners because of one of the side effects in the system, digestive system, from an opioid. So now I'm going through that change. My sleep pattern is definitely different. And I'm just going through the motions every day. Still trying to eat healthy as much as possible. I don't want to stop that. That's important, especially when you're going. Dude, I cut down on not just those pain pills, but nicotine products at the same time. And then all these other things that are getting adjusted in my body. So in a couple of days, I'm going to go for an acupuncture treatment for a reset. I already talked to her about it. Yeah, but the body don't fix itself overnight. Here's the point I was getting at. I'm not telling you to go off pain pills. And it's no fluke that I talked yesterday about self-medicating. I remember when people were talking about some veterans with physical problems might be a result of PTSD and an emotional glitch, right? I was like, nah. And now I'm like in this whole new, I'm in uncharted waters, man. Well, I'd like to think I'm a pirate, because I like to root for the bad guys in movies. Not all the time. But I'm in uncharted waters, and I'm just better for it. I'm better for it. I could tell I'm better for it. And just what I've done down here the last couple of weeks tells me I can still do physical things without that pain medication, because this other stuff I'm taking takes care of it. Okay, that's important to me. Number one. Number two, I'm not going to go back crazy into bodybuilding again, even with light weights. I'm not going to do that again. I could find enough stuff around here for a 66-year-old man to get in shape Maybe in a couple months I'll start doing push-ups again. I don't know. But things are changing, you know, big changes. When you start getting this stuff out of your system that the body's not designed for, you know. I'm glad on this channel that all you guys and gals are kind people, you know? Kind people. We've been through enough shit already. You know what? Leave us alone. We're putting forth a great effort to be the best possible person we could be. For me, you know what? I cut down my 3 principles to 1 a day. Like a multivitamin. To not harm anyone with my words or deeds. To not harm anyone with my words or deeds. My subconscious said, dude, you gotta make this simple. Simple. And then think about it. To not harm anyone with my words or deeds. That covers a lot of stuff. That covers a lot of stuff. If I don't harm anyone from the time I wake up till the time I fall asleep, if I don't harm anyone with my words or deeds, I'm as good as this tree right here. I'm as good as this creek. I'm as good as that beautiful sunshine. I'm as good as the leaves. I'm as good as the earth, the dirt, the stones, the rocks, the insects, the animals. Just from not harming anyone, one day at a time, with my words or deeds. That's enough out of me. Make it an amazing day. Make it an amazing day, and not just that, make it an amazing life. It's your choice. It's your decision what kind of life you're going to have. So why not make it a good one? I appreciate the comments from folks that say you're talking my language. I understand. I get it. You're helping me. We need to heal. We need to heal. We need to heal. That's what we're doing here. We're healing. So, and you know what? Thank you for helping me. You have no idea how much you helped me as well. And I'm looking forward to moving. I'm looking forward to moving, to getting in that van and going somewhere. Somewhere. Maybe I'll just go to a state park an hour from here. You know, a start. Just do that. One time. For a start. You see, after I had those heart attacks and I survived the Widowmaker in 2015 and I couldn't get going, and the cardiologist said, they don't call it a heart attack for nothing. Your heart just attacked your body. Your body needs to recover. And the Widowmaker, you got beat up, boy, big time. And it took me a year to get moving, right? Remember I told you that? I even went on Prozac for a while. Not because I was depressed, because I didn't have any, oomph. I was battered and beaten in 2015. I got back up again. And you know how I got back up? Walked out of my house across the street. Did that for a couple of weeks. Walked a half a block. Did that for a couple of weeks. Walked the whole block. Did that for a couple of weeks. Walked around the block. Did that for a couple of weeks. Walked 2 blocks. Did that for a couple of weeks. Walked 3 blocks. Did that for a couple of weeks. Walked for 15 minutes every day. Did that for a few weeks. Walk for a half hour every day. You see what I'm saying? Maybe you're the type of person that could just say, okay, look, I'm going. And man, I wish I was that way. I wish I was that way. It's not that I'm a cautious Carl either. I don't know, even know how to explain it. In that manner, like getting going so I could travel, it's a little different story. All right, I hear kind of noises going on around here, so I'll catch you all later. Have a good day.